Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing back the art hauls. So I haven't done an art haul in a long time, not because I haven't bought anything, it's just that I hadn't bought anything I thought was worth showing you. I bought some foams, I bought some cardboard stuff, I bought all the things I needed to build my frames, which you're gonna see a video about that in a few weeks / month. It's gonna be a lot of editing. All of this to say that the things that I bought I don't think were very interesting to show, but I have accumulated some stuff and all of my little shopping trips, and now I feel like I have a good amount of things to show you. So all of this I purchased on many different days. We're just gonna have fun and put it all together. We have two categories in this art haul today: the watercolor pencils and inktense, and we have the gouaches and watercolors. That's a lot of colors. So I wrote the names of all the colors. So FCAD is Faber-Castell Albert Dürer, and DW Inktense is Derwent Inktense. And I realized that there's some colors I've already shown you in my November art haul. I forgot that I had already shown them to you, so I will show them to you again. And I mean, how fun is it to just see a bunch of colors? So some colors are definitely new. I bought so many recently. Some of them are just replacement pencils of pencils I use a lot, and some of them are truly new colors. But the colors I'm going to show you again, I haven't used them a lot in my artwork, so that's why I think I forgot that I had already showed them to you. Anyway, we're going to start with Faber-Castell Albert Dürer in cadmium yellow. So first I'm just going to do a drawn swatch here, and then I'm going to add the water. Alright, now let's add some water here. A very pretty yellow. I bought a few yellows because I wanted to replace my Caran d'Ache Museum aquarelle in the color cadmium gold, I think. Yeah, gold cadmium yellow. So I wanted to replace this one because I bought this one in a kit, and in my local art stores they don't sell these individually. So I was trying to find a dupe, so I bought a few yellows. This one obviously is not a dupe. Let me just show you here what that color looks like. So we're trying to find a dupe for this color, which is a beautiful like orangey goldeny color. But I think maybe this next one will be it. So this one is the Derwent Inktense Golden Yellow, and I think it's much closer. I don't know what it looks like when you wet it, because I find that with the Inktense, it's when you wet it, sometimes the color can change a lot. But I feel like dry, the colors are similar. And yeah, it's pretty good, I think. This one is a bit more orange than this one, but I think it's close enough. Next we have another one from Derwent. We have the Sienna Gold, which I think is gonna be, yeah, too orange, too brownish. But nonetheless, a very interesting color to have in my palette. Oh, and you see when you add the water though, it's very yellow, but still a bit more brown than this one. I got another blue. I got a Faber-Castell Albert Dürer in the color Sky Blue. I love my pale blues from this brand, and I just saw this one. I didn't have it. Decided to try it. I like using this blue or similar blues dry most of the time. Okay, so now I think I've shown you a few of these greens already, if not all of them, but it's okay, right? So Faber-Castell Albert Dürer in Earth Green. Right now I'm working with a very select color palette for my current Nordic landscapes project. So that's why I haven't used these. Even though I bought them a few months ago, I really haven't used them at all because I don't want to introduce new colors in my color palette when I'm close to finishing the project. So I'm keeping with my selected color palette, but soon I'm gonna start using these and I'm very excited about them. So earth green and juniper green. This one is so pretty. Well, both of them are. Next, Faber-Castell Aperture in the color olive green yellowish. Very excited to see the yellowish part of this color. They are very buttery. Very nice to use. Oh yeah, we see the yellowish color. Juicy, lovely. I like it. Now I have Derwent Inktense Saddle Brown, and I remember when I bought it, I wanted a regular brown because I felt like all the browns I had were all very yellow when I added the water. And this one is it still has a yellow undertone, but it's more brown than the other browns I have. So I thought that for trees and landscapes, it would be a useful color to have. So that's it for the watercolor pencils / inktense pencils. I'm going to write the name of this one here so I don't forget. But I think for now the golden yellow from Inktense is the closest I can find. So this is going to be my dupe. I am fully aware that it's not the same type of pigment. This is going to be my dupe unless you have a better suggestion for me. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the watercolors. First, both of them are by Daniel Smith. First we have Cobalt Teal Blue, and I want to do a nice long swatch so I have a good idea of what it looks like. So I'm going to try something a bit more like mass tone here. It's very pretty. And then start introducing a bit more water to stretch it out and see what happens, how the color changes when it's paler. I know that this cobalt teal blue color is supposed to granulate, so this is good for me. I love granulation. I don't know if we're gonna see that too much on this paper because it's a mixed media paper. It's not a watercolor paper. Oh yeah, I already see some here. So I'll zoom you in later. I'll show you some close-ups. Next we have Phthalo Turquoise. I'm going to do a dark mass tone color here. It's gonna be so pretty, I can feel it. Ooh, that's nice. So I bought these two because in my watercolor palette I'm using a Van Gogh color for my turquoise and I don't have it anymore. It's all dried up, so I want to switch it out for a better quality. I read that cobalt teal blue was really good for mixes, but I also like the turquoise, the phthalo turquoise a lot, so I thought I would try the both of them and maybe put the two in my palette. We'll see. I still need to do some mixing tests. One thing I want to do is show you two brushes that I bought. So I bought this Princeton round number 4 brush. It's a shape I like, but it's a size I don't have. So I thought that I could buy it, and I know that Princeton is a brand that a lot of artists use. So decided, might as well try it out. And I found this random brush that was like $2 or something like that. Very cheap. It's also a number 4. It's round as well, but it's a bit thicker than the Princeton. Shorter and thicker. So I thought it could be interesting to try it also. So let's just see, do some lines here maybe with the watercolor that we have. So this is the camel hair brush, the very cheap brush, and I'm not sure how I like it because I feel like it's too soft. It's hard to control, you know, but it could be good for like filling in a bigger area, perhaps. It's okay. It's not the best. Now let's try the Princeton one. Yeah, this is a brush, a type of brush I like better because it's stiffer, so you can really control where the bristles go. Can make shapes, yeah, you have a lot more control. So I forgot to tell you about those two, but I also bought some acrylic gouache just because I wanted to try it out. So I only bought these 2 tubes. These are from Holbein. So I have pale lavender and ultramarine blue. And I'm going to swatch them right here. I put a lot. Let me put some here so I can mix the two together. So opaque, such a pretty color. I love it. I bought these because at first I wanted to try a new medium a bit more seriously, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to try acrylic gouache or regular gouache, but I ended up choosing regular gouache just because I can bring it more easily. I want to create a palette, I want to mix colors, so I can't do that with acrylic gouache because it doesn't reactivate. I'm going back up north soon, and I wanted to bring this new medium with me, and I thought maybe in the plane the tubes wouldn't be ideal, you know. So that's why I decided to make myself a nice gouache palette, traditional gouache. But I did a painting with these 2 colors. By the time you see this video, I might already be up north. But yeah, so I did a video comparing the gouache with the acrylic gouache, and I did the same painting twice with these different mediums, and I loved the acrylic gouache better just because of the color choice. So hopefully I'm gonna be able to reproduce these colors with my gouache. Well, this one I think I have it, but I would like to be able to reproduce a kind of lavender-ish color because I really loved it. A nice mix. We have a lot of gouache to test out. This is very exciting. So these are all the colors that I have. I also have a Winsor & Newton zinc white and a Holbein permanent white, which I will not swatch because you won't see them. But stay tuned for my gouache video, the one where I make my gouache palette, because I will test out some mixes using both of these to compare. This one is the zinc white is supposed to be more transparent than this one, which creates more vibrant mixes. So we'll test these out, but just not in this video. Alright, so let's start with primary yellow from Winsor & Newton. So I got the 3 primary colors because I want to do some interesting mixes. The palette I want to create is a winter palette. I think it will contain only blues, but I bought the primary yellow and the primary red to be able to create some mixes. Maybe I could create like a purplish color or my lavender color that I wanted to try to replicate. So that's why I have the primary red and yellow. I don't think I will include them in my palette though. Then I have the primary blue. Oh, it's not the color. Well, I guess it makes sense. I don't know, I thought it would be darker, but it makes sense that it's more like a cyan type of color since it's primary blue. All right. Then I bought some colors a little bit at random because I wanted to have my palette of blues, as I told you. But this first one is not random. I bought the cerulean blue because I love this color in my watercolors, and I think it's a great color to have to do skies and for mixes. That's why I wanted it. I tried to create somewhat of an order, but we'll see. So now we have Winsor & Newton ultramarine blue green shade. This was the only color that they had. They didn't have a red shade when I went to buy it, but this is very pretty. Then one that I'm very interested to see what it looks like is the phthalo blue. Just because the color on the tube does not look very phthalo. Ah. Yeah, that's nice. It's very nice. Oh, I like it. So I want to have a winter palette because I'm planning on painting a lot of winter landscapes since I'm going back in Nunavik pretty soon. So like I told you before, when you see this video, I will probably be there. I'm there for 6 weeks, and here in Montreal, we've had a very mild winter. Almost no snow. Right now, we are in the beginning of March at the time of filming this. We don't have any snow at all. It's super warm. So I was looking forward to doing some cross-country skiing. I bought my skis for the first time, so I've been thinking about it for years, and now I finally had my skis. I was ready, and there's no snow. So it's very unfortunate. But up north, I'm expecting a lot of snow, some cold. So I'm planning on painting some winter landscapes. Now I have a green, but it's like a bluish green. That's why I bought it. Cypress green from Winsor & Newton. It's very nice. I have the feeling I'm gonna use this one a lot. And we're gonna end up with Winsor & Newton Indigo, which will be our darkest color. A very pretty color. Oh, it's not the color. Well, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I thought it would be darker, but it makes sense that it's more like a cyan type of color since it's primary blue. Then I bought some colors a little bit at random because I wanted to have my palette of blues, as I told you. This first one is not random. I bought the cerulean blue because I love this color in my watercolors, and I think it's a great color to have to do skies and for mixes. So now we have Winsor & Newton ultramarine blue green shade. This was the only color that they had. They didn't have a red shade when I went to buy it, but this is very pretty. Then one that I'm very interested to see what it looks like is the phthalo blue. Just because the color on the tube does not look very phthalo. Ah. Yeah, that's nice. It's very nice. So I want to have a winter palette because I'm planning on painting a lot of winter landscapes since I'm going back in Nunavik. Here in Montreal, we've had a very mild winter. Almost no snow. Right now, we are in the beginning of March at the time of filming this. We don't have any snow at all. It's super warm. So I was looking forward to, and there's no snow. So it's very unfortunate. But up north, I'm expecting a lot of snow. So I'm planning on painting some winter landscapes. Now I have a green, a bluish green. That's why I bought it. Cypress green from Winsor & Newton. It's very nice. I have the feeling I'm gonna use this one a lot. And we're gonna end up with Winsor & Newton Indigo, which will be our darkest color. A very pretty color. So here are all of the gouache colors in one shot so you can have a good look. I'm still gonna wait a few minutes and I'll show you some close-ups, don't worry. But that's it, that's what concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that I always like watching art hauls, so I hadn't done one in a while and I think this one's a good one. So thank you for watching and I will see you again in 2 weeks hopefully. Bye!